Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following story that you are going to be listening to, it comes from a translation of a message that I received. The message reads like this. Hello, Brother Nash, how are you? My name is Gift. I am a very powerful prophet and I am currently staying here in my country. But my story, it all started when I was still here in Zim, continued when I was in South Africa, Cape Town, and then I moved back home when I had successfully gotten these prophetic powers. It all started from a very young age. I was a person that loved God with all of his heart. I would read the Bible. This was a thing that I would do each and every year. I would read the Bible, complete the Bible until I knew each and every verse by heart. And people said that I was going to become a pastor, a very powerful pastor one day. It then happened that after my mother and my father had separated, my mother was heartbroken. She was trying to get my father back, like those bring back lost lovers. In secret, she started to go around visiting some traditional healers, and they would come to our home. We did not even know that these were traditional healers. We just thought that maybe there were some relatives of ours since we were still very young. And then my mom said she wanted us to stop going to the Pentecostal church. So we started to go to this white garment church. My mom said it was not powerful enough. Then we started to attend the red garment church. Whilst we were there, one day when they were busy preaching, but it is very different the way that they preach from what happens in the Pentecostal churches. So when they were preaching, that was when people started acting as if they were getting possessed. I started to feel dizzy, as if there was a spirit that was descending upon my body, and I started shouting and jumping around. The things that happened after, I clearly do not know, but what my mom told me was that there was a possession that had taken place, and one of my grandfather had spoken through me, and I was supposed to do the work that he had left behind. So we continued going to that church. I became a prophet in that church, but I did not have the same power to be able to hear voices like I would hear some prophets saying that the moment that a person kneel down in front of you, then you will start to hear voices telling you what will be happening in that person's life that will be kneeling down in front of you. I had that desire, that deep desire to know exactly what happens in the spiritual world. So I started going around asking, why is it I had been told that I had a gift of prophecy, but even though I had that gift of prophecy, I was unable to prophesy. I did not even have any dreams at all. I was told that it was time for me to strengthen myself, but as for the money that these witch doctors wanted from me, it was quite high. I could not afford. My friend, he came to Zim. He was working in Cape Town. My friend was working at this other farm. So I spoke with him and I said, when you go back to South Africa, please remember me, but I don't have any money. He said, okay, we are going to see what we can do. By the time when it was January, we were already on the road. We were praying unto God that when we were passing through the roadblocks, his grace and his mercy can locate us so that we can pass through. And by God's grace, we arrived in Cape Town. Whilst I was there, that was the beginning of my problems. I started dating this other woman. She was a Xhosa woman. She was in love with money. This woman, she would be waiting at the gate of the farm where I was working. The moment that she knows that we are going to get paid on that Friday, I was unable to do anything to send money to my parents because of the way that this woman was eating all of my money. I ran away from that farm, even though we were getting paid a lot of money. I just wanted to leave this woman behind. I started staying in this other location and I started working for this other white man who owned a construction company. That was when I remembered my calling. All that I wanted to do was to serve the Lord. I quickly looked for a prophetic church. This is my advice to other people out there who love going to the prophetic churches. Do not allow another person to touch you on the forehead, because you can have your blessings stolen from you. That is what happened to me at that time. I went to this other prophetic church that is from Zim. I told them what I had been told ever since I was still a small boy about this gift that was upon me. And this man, what he did, in those churches, they use those small clay plates. So he took it and he said, I want you to place it on the ground and to cover it with this red cloth. I did not know that I was bearing my gift right there at his church. From that day going onwards, I did not have the desire to read the Bible, to focus on the Lord anymore. All that I cared about was to drink and to sleep with women. I finally had a woman whom I started staying with, the woman that I sacrificed, a woman whom I wronged, and I want God to forgive me because she brought me back to the Lord. She was going to the Pentecostal church, and I continued going to that same white garment church. Whilst I was there, that was when I spoke with another man. This man then said, just give me 2 months. I said, 2 months for what? He said, at this church, I am a small-time prophet, but I'm going to get a car very soon. I'm going to start my own church, and you are going to see. And yes, it happened. He then assisted this other family. So this family, they told him that they did not even have enough money to thank him because he had removed some topologies from their home and strengthened their home because it used to be a playground for witches and a witchcraft. A lot of witchcraft was happening in their homestead. They thanked him with money and the car. I went to him and I said, I can see that your prophecy has come to pass. Can you assist me? He said, let me go to Zim and enjoy my money. Upon my return, look for me. I am not going to look for you, for the person that has diarrhea is the one that sleeps right next to the door so that he can quickly rush and relieve himself in the bushes. He went to Zim and he returned back. I was waiting for him and I said, man of God, assist me. And he said, yes, I am going to assist you. Let me finish fixing my car. And then me and you, we are going to Mozambique. We went to Mozambique and he thanked his traditional healer and he said, this is where I got my powers. So at that traditional healer's place, that is where I also did my own rituals. We went to this other cave where I was told to buy a big clay pot where I poured some holy water that I use, and I was given a walking staff that I use. This walking staff, sometimes I return it back to that traditional healer so that he can recharge and give it more power. And I was also made to sleep on top of a grave for 2 hours so as to collect the spirit of that person who was lying dead in that grave, to make sure that I can be able to prophesy using the spirit of the dead. For those that are dead, they know everything. They can communicate with your relatives whilst you are kneeling down in front of me, and they can tell me the hidden things in your life that you have never shared with anyone. So people started to notice that he was a young, powerful man of God. They would come to me, and since I was strengthened by a traditional healer and I have to pay him on a monthly basis, even if you come with your relative saying that, man of God, my relative is about to die, I won't feel sorry for you, because when I was doing these painful rituals of losing my partner, since I sacrificed her and used her blood in those blood rituals, how can I feel sorry for you? No, you need to go somewhere else, not come to me. But my heart bleeds when I think about this woman, the way that I sacrificed. May the Holy Spirit forgive me for the sins that I committed. But this life, it is too hard and life is too short. It is far much better, I told myself, to become a fake prophet and enjoy at least maybe the minimum amount of years that I was told that I'm not going to do this for more than 15 years. Then this gift, the spirit anyway, is going to return back to Mozambique, and I have to go back and to pay the traditional healer for using this spirit of the dead man. This is my story of how I sacrificed my partner because of the challenges that I was facing. It was not an easy life, running away from the police constantly when I was in Cape Town, knowing that you are living in a foreign land where you do not even have basic human rights. God sometimes he enjoys when other people are suffering. That is why I took matters into my own hands. What blasphemy. Let us try to speak with our brother right there in the comment section. Strange things indeed they do happen in this world. At least his warning was that do not allow any prophet to touch you on the forehead, because your gift can be stolen. But strange things indeed they do happen in this world.